Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zebra Nation Plays, the FM Scout Academy Challenge with FC Dallas. Here we are, the season finale, the MLS regular season finale, anyway, of Season 6 with FC Dallas. And I'm going to give it to you straight. I just sort of blew past the ending of the season, and we're already into the playoffs here. We're into the Wildcard round versus Real Salt Lake. And the reason I did that is I wanted to give a meaningful game here at the end of this season, but really that wasn't possible when we got down to the end of the schedule. And that was because Minnesota and Houston just sort of flew past us in the standings there in the Western Conference. Obviously, we saw Houston all year long has been the best team in the league, scoring 72 points, only 6 losses and 6 draws all season long. A plus 25 goal differential is just, I mean, that's really good. Really good. Scoring 72 points in a season. There's just no way we're going to catch them for first place, much less a supporter shield. But then at the end of the season, Minnesota got really hot. They went on a winning streak and passed us by, even though we didn't play particularly badly at the end of the season. You can check out the schedule here. And saw, we had a couple of draws and a couple of wins at the end of the season, but when we got down to this last match of the season versus Toronto FC, they were already 4 points ahead of us, so we basically had nothing to play for. And so I played a fully rotated side in that game and came out with a boring 0-0 draw. Didn't really care to show you that. There's nothing going on there. So, we just took our I believe it was third place finish. That's, the difference between third and sixth is not much, really. Whether you get a home game in the wild card or whether you get an away game in the wild card doesn't really matter that much. It's just a one-game play-in, so that's what we got to look forward to. As far as Champions League go, we can check out our Group F here. And I didn't need to show you any of these Champions League games either, because we won them pretty handily, other than the one draw that we had versus Defense Force. But other than that, when it came down to the last game against Comunicaciones, we were already well ahead of them, and there's no catching up for them. So it didn't really matter in that game, and I played a lot of youngsters and rotated side there as well. So we finished top of the group with 10 points, 3 wins, 1 draw, no losses. And that moves us on to the next round of the Champions League, which is what we need. Take a look at the stages here. Group stage, quarterfinals. They haven't been announced yet. They'll be announced December 8th. But, yeah, we in there, boys. We look at the calendar. Now, I've been thinking about this strategy of bringing in some ringers for the Champions League. And so we've got a couple of months of off-season before the Champions League registration. Ooh, cracked voice there. Let me take a drink of some tea. Before the Champions League registration kicks in. So do we hire some ringers? I mean, that's against the spirit of this competition. But I might do it just as an experiment, just to see if we can, bring in some high-dollar players, take an alternate save, not our main save. Take an alternate save, go out and hire some ringers from somewhere. Use all that transfer money that we've got. Use all that budget that we've got available. We got $20 million budget available, so we could go out and get 2 $10 million players, really, and bring them in just for the Champions League. That would be kind of funny. We'd have a couple of months of, or at least 1 month here if we did it right. If we scheduled our off-season correctly, we could have 1 month of training camp with our new players if we bought them early. And, yeah, hopefully have them integrated in the team and then play. So that would be an interesting strategy, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm really going to do that, but I might. Anyway, that's our next goal in this. Well, our next goal, let me not get ahead of myself here. Our next goal is obviously trying to win the MLS Cup. First thing we got to do is beat Real Salt Lake. But before we get to that game, let's run down the checklist here. Finances for the season, we earned $3.3 million, which is down quite significantly from last season where we made $4.9 million. Now we could make some of that money up here if we have a good long playoff run. We can get some extra cash. I don't know if we can make up that much cash, over $1 million, $1.6 million. I don't know if we can make that up just through playoff earnings, but it's a possibility. If we win the cup, maybe we could make that much. But overall, we're still doing very good. $29 million in the bank. We dropped below that $30 million mark, but we'll get over that next season, no problem. Budget-wise, we're now spending $4.9 million in salary, which is a hefty increase from where we were the last few seasons, but still well under our $27 million budget. Transfer budget is still $7.7 million, so we are fine and dandy in the finance department. Board-wise, we're still very secure in our job here, 72%, so we're going up all the time. Well, that's not true. We've been kind of up and down this season. We started the season, I believe, 76 or 78%. Dropped down below 70%. Now we're back up above 70%. But still, we've never dropped below very secure. So we're doing good. Doing just fine. Other than that, no changes in the board. Everything's fine. Club-wise, again, we're still the same. We've got now the North American Champions League competition down here. We're still rich. We're still 3 stars. Our hot prospect is Mark Thompson, and he's definitely been the surprise player this season. He's not only starting for us, but I've called him up to the Team USA because he's one of the best midfielders now, one of the best American midfielders now, which is crazy for this guy. Escobedo is now our key player. He's our designated player. Zimmerman and Gonzalez are our 2 captains, and of course I am the head coach. No problems there. Transfers, not a lot has happened in transfer world. Obviously, we didn't bring anybody in. We didn't send anybody out. We did make a couple of more trades. If you missed the trade review last episode, I think it was, or maybe 2 episodes ago, whenever it was, we traded away our one of our reserve goalkeepers, Peter Begay. Got a 2nd-round pick for him, and just trying to get rid of him basically and get a 2nd-round pick for him. Got rid of Coy Kraft, longtime striker / winger. Got a 2nd-round pick for him as well. Traded away our young, promising midfielder Paxton Pomical because of Thompson and just the depth we had at his particular position that made him expendable and valuable, and we were able to get a 1st-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and $300,000 in money, in allocation money for him. So that was definitely a good trade for us. And then we got another 2nd-round pick from New York for one of our international slots and some money. I'm always looking to pick up draft picks, so I don't really care about giving away a little bit of money for a draft pick. That's fine. Then we made a couple of more trades. I traded away a bunch of my lower round picks, 2 2nd-round picks, and a 4th-round pick to DC United next year for their 1st-round pick 2 years from now. Because next year we had 10 draft picks going into next year, so I don't need all these draft picks going into next year. So I'm trading them away for picks 2 years from now. So traded away those 3 picks to get 1st-round pick from DC United. DC United finished last in the league this season, so hopefully that'll be a good pick 2 years from now. Maybe they'll improve, but who knows. And then we made a similar trade to Columbus, 2 2nd-round picks and a 3rd-round pick for their 1st-round pick 2 years from now. So we can take a look at our draft allocations and see next year we traded away all those picks, and yet we still have 4 1st-round picks next season. Chicago, Portland, Philadelphia, and our own 1st-round pick. Then 2023, we have another 5 1st-round picks, a 2nd-round pick, and a 4th-round pick. So we got draft picks galore. We're never going to run out of draft picks, so that's good. I guess nothing else here really matters. Our junior squad is not looking real good. Got a couple of players here who are okay. I think Carlos Moreno is our next candidate who's going to get called up Here he's a midfielder, pretty decent speed, first touch, decisions, aggression, technique, teamwork. So he's okay. I don't think he's going to blow the roof off of anybody, but he's got some decent potential. He's a guy who could blossom. You never know. Then we got a couple of right wingers here who we're just not going to need because we don't use wingers. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to, maybe I can sign them and trade them. But I don't know that really works very well with these youngsters here in the U.S. I mean, he's kind of promising. Jim Reyes here, 17-year-old winger. He's got some good crossing, free kick taking, but I don't know that anybody's going to want him or actually get anything from him. So there's not a lot of potential here. Hopefully our next intake will give us some better players. We'll see. But we signed a bunch of them last year, so it's not as though our academy is not producing. It is definitely producing. All right, so let's get to our game this week. We're going up again. Let me see if I can backtrack to it. Get to our team submittal here. I think I've gone through too many screens. Yes. No. Oh, there we go. All right, so here we are. DC versus Real Salt Lake. And we got our basic starting lineup here. We got Gonzalez, Cole, Johnson, Zimmerman, Escobedo, Ulloa, Acosta, Thompson, Zamora in the midfield, Alcantara, and then we got a problem. We got Israel Bracamontes here instead of our man Washington, because Washington got injured during some training camp action. Actually, just said he had a sports hernia due to wear and tear, so I don't know. Just a long season finally caught up with him, but after our last game of the season, in which he didn't play, he got injured. So it must have been a training injury. Out 3 to 4 weeks, so we probably won't even get him back for the playoffs. Currently receiving treatment from the doctor. Yeah, so bad news there from Washington. Going to be without our main target man. Now we could bring in Manning, our young academy player, as the target man. And I might do that at some point, but for now we're going to go control, which means we don't necessarily need a target man. We're going to go with an advanced forward and a poacher, see how that combination works. I think that combination will work for going control and going attack. We don't necessarily need a target man as long as everybody understands, get the ball to Alcantara and let him score, and everything will be fine. So I guess that is it. Let's submit this team. Get going. Nothing else really has changed in terms of our lineup other than that one major injury. Cole is a little banged up, but he can play 60 minutes a game, so we're going to start him and play him. This is the wild card round. It's one game and done. Winner take all, moves on to the semifinals of the Western Conference playoffs. So here they are, running a 4-2-3-1 with 2 defensive midfielders. So I really hate this formation. I hate playing against this formation. Mexico plays this formation quite a bit, and it's frustrating to play against because you think that with all those advanced players, you should be able to catch them on the counterattack. But this, because they've got the 2 defensive midfielders sitting there, it counteracts my diamond formation a little too easily, and I don't like it. So I've got to play out wide a little too much, rely on my fullbacks a little too much, and when you're playing a team like Mexico, who has great players all across the field, you can't really win a lot of one-on-one battles. Now, I'm not going to compare Real Salt Lake to Mexico, but, they're pretty good. Anyway, there's Escobedo winning one of those one-on-one battles. So let's see what we can do here. Got the 4 men going there. There's Acosta getting forward. I'm playing him at central midfield instead of defensive midfielder, just because he's got a little bit more speed, a little bit more range. See if he can get forward and cause some havoc. Thompson playing the ball back. Our defense is way up there because we're playing control. We're trying to push up the field. Thompson gets it out wide to Escobedo. Can he do anything with it? Oh, he hops over one defender. Gets it back to Thompson. We're definitely controlling the match, so this is good. Zamora, Acosta. He's not a good offensive player, really, but he does get forward, so it's kind of hit and miss with Acosta. But we'll see. We'll see. I got Ulloa in there as well, so I can mix and match these players if I need to. I can bring in some players off the bench. I got decent midfielders coming off the bench. Guys who are at least versatile and can play those positions. So if Acosta doesn't do anything for us, doesn't give us anything, I can move the players around a little bit. Maybe either move Ulloa up there or bring in one of the other guys off the bench. There's Escobedo sending it in. Bracamontes can't win the header. See, that's the problem without Washington in there. We don't have anybody to win those headers. It's a good try, though. They are running the ball through Escobedo. That's kind of what we want to do, considering he's our best player now. Hamid is a good goalkeeper. Oh, I didn't run down the stats for the league. That's what I was going to do. I was going to run down the league stats. We finished pretty good all the way around. We were second or third in goals scored this season. Ooh, there's Chavez with a shot. Gonzalez again finished very high this season. Had second most shutouts, I believe. Our team as a whole did very well defensively. I think we were second in the league also in terms of goals allowed. So, offense very potent, defense very good. We had the most control in the league in terms of ball possession. So we did very good in lots of ways. Dropped down to 7th in terms of fouls this year, so we played much better. Obviously, Vancouver was still number 1 in fouls. They did drop below the 600 foul mark, though. They only had like 580 fouls or something this season. So I guess good on them for reducing that. Here we are, 25 minutes down. We've gotten pretty much all the highlights but one. Controlling this match as we've done many matches this season. We'll see if Cole can do anything with it. Can he get by his man? Yes. Oh, there's Alcantara. He's in the box. There it is. There it is. You can't just let him hang out on the doorstep like that. He's like one of them door-to-door salesmen. Can't let him get his foot in the door, otherwise he'll sell you a vacuum cleaner you don't want. Here he is. Hello, are you the man of the house? Take that. Alright, so we got our 1-0 lead. See, we can now just sort of run out the clock here. The clock is ticking. I mean, I don't want to make that our strategy of running out the clock, but we might be able to. Here's Alcantara. Take on the whole defense by himself. Nope, drops it back to Thompson. Let's set up the attack here, fellas. Gonna get it out wide to Escobedo. Yes, there it is. Oh, Bracamontes almost got a header on. No, he did get a head on that. He just launched it wide. I mean, he's not really comfortable playing on that left side, so I don't blame him too much. Oh, Bracamontes gets fouled. Yellow card on. All right, so they're starting to get a little desperate here. 38 minutes down. Here's Thompson with the free kick. That was close. That was real close. I like Thompson on the free kicks. He's done very well this season. His free kicks seem to be more on target than anybody I've ever had for this game. So I'm just gonna let him roll with it. Zamora, can he get the ball forward? Is anybody making a run? Escobedo with the shot. Boy, that almost scored. Oh, Alcantara can't get to it. Thompson, Zamora. Oh, come on, boys. Let's spread out here a little bit. See if you can get it wide to Cole. Nope, Zamora's just going to keep playing it up the middle. Thompson's going to get it stolen. No, he goes around his man. There, he finally gets it stolen. But they got no counterattack at all. So maybe we should start playing it out wide. I mean, Cole seems to be wide open out there. Maybe we can make that adjustment in the second half. Passionate. I'm pleased how things are going. Keep it up. I mean, we could try clear the ball to the flanks, maybe. Give that a shot. You know, and then if we go up, if we get another goal, we'll pull our fullbacks into a more defensive position and play a little bit more conservatively. But right now, there's no need. We got the 1-goal lead, but that can change quickly. There it is. That's what we want to do. Get it out wide. Get fouled, sucker. Ooh, Andruskevicius gets the foul. Here we go. Free kick. Thompson's probably going to lay it in there. See if Zimmerman can get ahead on this. Nope. Thompson wins it right back. Ooh. Acosta takes a shot. I don't think we're going to beat Hamid with those kind of shots, but you know, at least it keeps him on his toes. And again, we got another highlight. We're keeping possession of the ball. We're getting it wide. I think we're doing all good things here. Cole gets a yellow card. He's coming up on that 60-minute mark. I might want to think about taking him out. Do not get a red card. Oh, Cole, you bastard. Oh, Cole. How can you do me like this? My man. All right. So this is not good. We're going to have to move Johnson over here to fullback. Make him defensive fullback. And then we're going to bring... Guess we'll bring Bracamontes down here. Put Alcantara in the center there. Go with our little wedge formation here. And then bring in Eaton here at central defense. So there we go. We're going to be playing 10-man, a little bit more defensive style football. Let's see, Escobedo. We're going to put him on defense as well. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Maybe we should switch to counterattack instead of control. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, so we'll go from fluid to structured. And there we go. Lots of changes to play 10-man football. Mike Eaton, calmly. I think there's much to come from you. All right. Hollingshead is playing for... who are we playing here? Real Salt Lake. Forgot about old Hollingshead. We traded him a few years ago. He's still kicking around the leagues. He was a very versatile player for us. Played inside or outside. There's a nice steal. Escobedo gets it up to Zamora. Costa, let's just play with the ball, boys. Can you get it forward? Ooh. Nope. We were making a run there. Who's that getting out of position? That was a tricky play. Alright, if we can get it forward to Alcantara, he might be able to take the team on one by one. That was Johnson who was out of position there in the right fullback. Alright, Escobedo. Escobedo's playing so well defensively on that left fullback. Zamora, Alcantara, Acosta. There's Alcantara. Be nice if we just could fire it up the field to him since... you know, we might need to go route 1 here, I think. There's Zamora sending it long. There's Alcantara. It looked like they were beatable on that back line, man. I still think they are beatable, so we're going to go route 1 on this one. Just send the ball up the middle there. Alright, so Johnson's a little tired at that fullback position. Everybody else is doing pretty good. I mean, we do have a reserve fullback we can bring in if needed, but it might not be necessary here. Zamora, send it back to Ulloa. Without our fullbacks going forward, we're a little bit of a limited offense, especially playing 10 men. You know, basically our only option is Alcantara, or maybe if Acosta gets forward, you know, he has a tendency to get forward, but don't need him there. All right, so 87 minutes down. I don't think I'll make any substitutions. I don't think anybody's playing particularly poorly. Zamora gets it. He's going to send it to Alcantara. One-on-one. The defense is catching up with him. He's probably going to get it stolen. There it is. Hollingshead. I wonder if he's still bitter about us trading him. I don't think he wanted to leave particularly. He obviously still has some good soccer left in him, but you know, we had to do what was good for the team. Had to bring in Ulloa, had to bring in Acosta, all these young players. We needed them to play, and he was in the way. Here's Escobedo. Nice header by Zimmerman. Doesn't quite clear it as far as I would have liked, but no good shots there. So we're coming up to the end of the game. Let's do this. We got 2 minutes of stoppage time. Gonzalez. I mean, it's not the greatest victory you've ever seen in your life, but if this holds out, it'll be good enough to get us to the next round, and it's really all you can hope for is survive and advance. Zamora playing with the ball. Nice moves there. Thompson gets it up to Alcantara. Can he get the shot off? No, but we might get a corner out of it. No. All right, as long as we just keep them stuck down here at this end. Still got 1:30 to go here. They're going to try to catch us on the counter attack. That's not going anywhere. Gonzalez isn't going to mess that one up. All right, boy, this stoppage time is going real slow. Real slow. Oh, there's a dangerous cross. No foul. Thank you. You know, when the ball goes just flying like that and nobody chases after that. Oh, there's another cross. A lot of times it's a foul, so hopefully maybe the ref just didn't call it. I don't know, or maybe nobody got their head on it. But I don't know. It looked dangerous either way. So here we go. Gonzalez got 1 minute left. Let's see if he can waste time here. All right, tensions are running high. Our defense is a little tired, but got Gonzalez backing him up. He's a steadying influence back there. He's the captain. He can get his players organized. That's all we need. Just a little bit of organization here and we'll be good. Thompson, Zamora. Wasting as much time as we can. 30 seconds to go. There we go. Let's just keep on playing some ticky-tack. We got them outnumbered here in the midfield. You know, they've only got the 2 defensive midfielders back there. It's up to them to steal the ball from our 4 men in the diamond. Gets it up to Alcantara. Nope. Goalkeeper clears it. That should do it right there. 2 minutes are up. Let's get the end of this. Come on, where's that whistle? Give us the whistle. There it is. All right. Not exactly a thrilling victory, but, you know, being 10 men, being a man down for most of the second half. Well done, guys. That was a good win for us. Continue to the post-match analysis. Given the lack of discipline, will Cole be featuring? Yes, he's an important player for us. Blah, blah, blah. So he'll be suspended for the next game, which means I'll probably play not Alcantara. I'll probably play Acosta there on the right-hand side. And bring in Van de Castile. Oops, I left the match without looking at it. Schedule. Let's go back take a look here at our ratings. Pretty good. Cole, before he fouled out, had a 7.3 ratings. Pretty good. Escobedo got the player of the match with a 7.5 rating. That's pretty good. Nobody had a particularly poor outing. Bracamontes, I suppose, had a 6.5. He was our worst player, but other than that, we're pretty good. Alcantara got the one and only goal. Other than that, I think we outplayed them all around. Had the possession. Yeah, 53% possession. Pretty even in terms of fouls. 6 shots on targets, 11 to 3 shots. So yeah, we definitely dominated that match. And next up, let's see if we can run through our emails real quick. We win the wild card round. Today's all right, a draw. So we draw Minnesota, who finished second in the Western Conference. It's been a meteoric rise for Minnesota. They've only been in the league now 4 seasons, and they're already one of the top teams. We can take a look at the stats now real quickly if you want to. Team stats. Most goals, Houston, we finished tied for second with 51 goals. Houston, 63 goals. I mean, wow. Talk about landslide there. And then Minnesota had 49, so they played pretty well. Most headers were up there in 4th. Average possession, again, we finished first with 54% possession. So that's pretty good. Most tackles won. We're not up there. So again, we're not being quite as aggressive as in years past. Least conceded goals, we finished second to Minnesota. Pretty good. Most shutouts, we finished second to Houston. Most fouls, there's Vancouver. Oh, they got up over that 600 foul mark, 606. I thought last time I checked they were well below 600, so I didn't think they were going to break it, but there they are, 606. Must have had a bunch of fouls in their playoff game or something. Their last 2 games must have had a lot of fouls. Anyway, most passes, Chicago, we're up in 3rd place there, 78%, 1% behind the leader, so no problems there. Most crosses, 6th place, 12%, that's usually where we're at. Shots on target, not up there this season. That's not good. That's not good. We can take a look at player stats real quick. Top goal scorer, Brad Guzan, 23-year-old American. I'm going to have to take a look at this dude for Team USA. I don't think he's on Team USA right now, so I'm going to have to take a look at him and see what he's all about. He scored 21 goals this season. That's ain't chopped liver. And then Kwesi Appiah tied with him for 21 goals as well. Our lone man on the list was Alcantara with 19. That's a pretty good season for him. Most assists, check this out. Francis Washington with 11 assists this season. Good for 2nd place, tied for 2nd place with 4 other guys. But still, that showed you our offense this season is get the ball to Washington. Washington gets the ball to Alcantara. It's a 1-2 play right there. Just he usually heads it on, and Alcantara goes and finishes, but not always. A lot of times he crosses it. The most distant run, we had the top 2 in most distance run, Cole and Escobedo. Got those guys on attack just about every game, just running up and down that sideline. It's no wonder that they're up for the Defensive Players of the Year award, just because they're involved in so many different plays. Most key tackles, nobody on the list. Least concessions, Gonzalez, 25 allowed. Marco Diaz from Minnesota, 27 allowed. So, one of the top goal scorers, one of the top goaltenders. That usually leads to a good season. Most shutouts, not on the list. How about that? Least conceded goals, but not the most shutouts. Interesting. Brad Guzan from Houston had the most shutouts. That's pretty good for them, too. Marco Diaz from Minnesota finished 2nd. And then here we have tackles per game. Escobedo's up there. Tackles per game, 4.32. The leader, I got to check out this name. Fatai. I thought his name was Fatal at first. That would have been funny. But no, it's Fatai Alash. Finished top with 4.88 tackles. That's a lot. Most dribbles, who cares? Most key passes. Look at the passing from Toronto, Giovinco, and Shani Tarashaj from Switzerland. Interesting. They finished with a lot of key passes between them anyway. And then most shots on target. There's our boogeyman, Daniel Sturridge. Hey, he didn't play in this game, did he? Or at least he didn't have an effect in this game, so that's pretty good. Whether he didn't play or didn't have an effect, either way, I'm happy about that. We had 8th place man, Jeff Zamora. So there you go. A little bit of look at the stats before we move on to the next round versus Minnesota. Semifinals of the Western Conference. I guess we'll come back with that in a little while. Well, it'll be a day for you. So see you then. Bye.